Good evening. Welcome. Man, these weeks are going fast. Don't you think? Wednesday, almost August 2022. I stumbled across that one today. I was looking for a file and the year 2022 came up and I said, "Oh, that's in the future. That's next year." It's like, yeah. Yeah, nice to be here. Um, I appreciated silent sitting tonight. A great chapter, one of my favorites. Um, I don't know that we can do it justice in one time. We'll see. We might have to stretch this one out because there's just so much here. One with everything, one with everything, uh, and he starts out by saying, most of us understand things in terms of differences, such as big or small, black or white, material or spiritual. When we say spiritual, we mean something that is not material. But according to Buddhism, what is spiritual still belongs to the phenomenal side of reality. Yeah, so interesting. I thought kind of amazing, right? That kind of making these distinctions and saying that that what we think of as spiritual still falls into the realm of the phenomenal. And I looked up phenomenal just to see a definition, and it says, known through the senses, rather than through thought or intuition. And then he says the other side we might call the ontological or the noumenal side is what you cannot see. And again, I felt like I needed to educate myself a little bit and actually look up some of these definitions. And so ontological means the study of existence, and the study of how we determine if things exist or not. Right. So interesting. Right. So he's making this distinction between right, the material and the spiritual, which falls into the phenomenal world, and the other side is ontological, the study of existence, or the noumenal side. And the noumenal side is the world of things outside of us as they really are. And then he says, before spiritual or material, the other side is already there. It is not something that can be understood by your small mind in terms of big or small, black or white, man or woman. To understand only in this way is to put a limitation on our actual being. So in some way, all of this sounds, maybe mysterious or very heady, but wait, soon he's going to bring it all very much, I think, into much more accessible. But I think, again, just painting this picture of the world, the world that we can know through our senses, which includes what we think of as the spiritual world, but that there's this whole other world of existence, of reality that we don't generally access. Says when you understand that there is something more than spiritual or material, more than right or wrong, that is reality. That is actually each one of us. To know this is to have renunciation, to be free from ideas of right or wrong, life or death, spiritual or material. I used to struggle with this word. It shows up in different contexts. This word renunciation. I don't know why it has a little bit of a Christian, feeling, but here he's using it as a sense of letting go of the material and the spiritual world, to give up, to renunciate, to give up, to let go of our usual way of seeing ourselves and what the world is, our usual way of seeing reality, and instead he's proposing to see reality. And he goes on, though you try very hard to be spiritual, still you are existing only on one side, ignoring the other side of yourself. That is why you suffer. If you really want to attain enlightenment, if you really want to attain real freedom, if you really want to realize the real you, you have to go beyond ideas of good or bad, life or death. So he's saying, I think here, that we somehow need to access this other reality. We actually need to let go of what we experience, what we think of as material or spiritual. But in some way, I think he's saying we have to live completely in the material world, completely in the spiritual world. But we also have to realize there's a whole nother world. There's this whole other way of being, this whole other way of existing. And now he's bringing in, he says, how do you do this? This is through zazen, right? Through meditation practice. When something comes, let it come. Don't think about it in terms of good or bad. Let it come and let it go. This is actually zazen, to go beyond various ideas and just be yourself. Yeah. Right. So how do we exist not only on one side? How do we let go of our suffering? How do we find our real freedom beyond ideas of good or bad or life or death? In meditation practice, when something comes, let it come. Let it come and let it go. This is actually zazen, to go beyond various ideas and just be yourself. It says you and others are not just spiritual or physical. Good and bad are, vary from time to time, but things themselves are beyond good or bad. How things go, and now he's kind of doing this unpacking. He doesn't use the word karma, but he's kind of defining, the role of karma in seeing reality by saying, what happens, how things go is a matter of cause and effect. Things that exist now will cause some effect, and that effect will cause another effect. That is reality. Things are just going on, right? So uh, we can't. There's a maybe at some point, and I'm sure we've talked about this koan. There's a koan about this person who asks a teacher, is a fully enlightened being beyond cause and effect? And apparently, the teacher says yes. And for giving this answer, this teacher is turned into a fox for 500 years, which was not a good thing. And then at some point there's another shot at it, and the question again is asked, and this time the teacher says no. A fully enlightened being is not beyond cause and effect, and this fox is freed. And there's a point. The point is that here he's talking about, he's equating in some way living in the world of cause and effect with reality, but outside of our usual classifications of material and spiritual. And now it gets really interesting. Now it gets super interesting, where he says, we say that I am here and you are there. It is okay to say so, but actually, without me, you don't exist. Without you, I don't exist. This is very true. Since I am here, you are there. Since you are, I am here. If I am related to the sun and the moon, as you are related to the sun and the moon, then how is it possible to say that I am here and you are there when we are always related? Yeah. So he's kind of opening up, right, this this sense of relative and absolute, right, in a wider perspective, right, where we, no matter where you are, we're all related to the sun and the moon, and that we are experiencing each other, right? That without right, without you, I don't. We our existence is codependent. Our existence is a kind of codependent arising, or that it's completely interdependent. He says it's just your mind that says you are here and I am there. That's all. Originally, we are one with everything. If someone dies, you may say he is no more. But is it possible for something to vanish completely? That is not possible. And it's not possible for something to appear all of a sudden from nothing. It can change form, that's all. And therefore, we are always one. And then maybe for tonight, the last part I'll read is, and which I really, really appreciate these ideas. Superficially, you may say, you are feeling lonely. But if you are sincere and really give up your small mind, then there is no fear and no emotional problem. Your mind is always calm, your eyes are always open, and you can hear the birds sing. There's nothing for you to worry about. And if you worry, you will see it as an interesting novel. We can enjoy our life fully when we understand things in that way. Right? Superficially, you may say you are feeling lonely. But if you are sincere and really give up your small mind. So again, I think this is the renunciation. Renunciation is giving up small mind. Giving up small mind is this kind of radical sense of renunciation. And if you can do that, there's no fear and no emotional problems, no emotional entanglement. Your mind is calm, your eyes are open, and you can hear the birds sing. What a great, how simple and wonderful. And then I love where he says, there's nothing to worry about, but even if you are worried, you will then see worry as interesting and be curious and see the novelty of worry. And with that kind of living, with that kind of way of being in the world, we can enjoy our life fully when we understand things in that way. And I didn't write it down. Let me see if I can still remember this some lines from the Mary Oliver poem where she says, right, this is what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world. This is what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world. And then at the end of this poem, she says, "Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can I not grow wise with teachings such as these?